Shenhe. God, she's so cute. Oh no, please not another character who falls for Ether. He's already got a whole harem for himself. So her demo trailer was released today, and yes, it's fantastic. I can't wait to meet her in her story quest. Now, along with her trailer, her skill and kit was released along with it. And that's the reason why I wanted to make this video, because after seeing her skills, it sparks quite a number of concerns for this absolutely gorgeous character that we've been waiting for so long. So in this video, I'll be going through her kit with you guys, and I will share with you the top 5 major considerations you need to note before you decide to pull for Shenhe, especially for free-to-play players. However, this does not apply to those who love her as a character, because you guys are gonna pull for her anyway, right? But do stay, who knows, you will find some of the stuff discussed here to be useful. And with that, let's jump into the video. So for Shenhe's kit, you guys already know that she's a cryo polearm character, and as any 5-star polearm character, her attack animation looks absolutely fantastic. Now her E and burst is where it gets interesting. Her E skills has 2 options, one which is tap, where she will rush forward and deals cryo damage along the path, and if you hold that, you will deal AoE cryo damage that has higher scaling than the press. Moreover, her E skills gives your party what's called icy Quills, in which whenever you deal cryo damage on normal charge, plunge, E skills, and burst, the damage dealt will be increased based on Shenhe's current attack. Now something to note is that the duration of the Quills is different depending on whether you hold or tap her E skills. Tap will definitely be shorter than hold, however the Quills effect will also end when triggered a certain number of times, and it will still be counted even if you hit multiple enemies in one go. You get 5 times for the tap and 7 times for the hold. So for example, if Ganyu's bloom attack hit 5 different enemies, that is counted as 5 times for your Quills. We do get that the effect trigger is calculated differently for every member, so that's a good thing. For her burst, she creates an ice field which is similar to Ganyu's, dealing AoE cryo damage over time, plus it decreases cryo and physical resistance on mobs within the field, which is really good support for cryo characters. Now her passive wasn't mentioned today, but her passive 1 will give her burst the ability to boost character within the ice field, a 15% cryo damage bonus, so more damage for your cryo unit. And second passive will give your team a 15% E skills and burst damage bonus when you tap Shenhe's E skill, and if you hold it, she will increase 15% of your team's normal charge and plunging attack instead. So that's quite a difference between press and hold on her E skills. Now, as of this point, her passive talents aren't confirmed yet, so what I just mentioned above about her passive can still be changed. And that's basically an overview of Shenhe's kit. As we've seen, she's clearly going to be a pure support for cryo characters. But more than that, she's a niche support character for cryo unit. She does give a boost for your whole team from her second passive talent, giving a 15% increase in damage. However, that's quite minimal. So with that, I now want to get into the 5 things to note about Shenhe before you pull for her. Number 1 is that she's niche and limited. Here's what I mean by that. So we know that she's going to be a support character for cryo because her Quills enhances cryo damage. Therefore, she aims to boost your cryo DPS damage. Now, how many cryo DPS are we mainly using at this point in time? There's, Ganyu and Ayaka, who's mostly used as a pure cryo damage dealer. There can also be Kaya or Rosaria or Aloy, but how many of us are actually using these characters for a DPS? So in other words, Shenhe's whole career right now is to mainly support Ganyu and Ayaka. There's also Eula, who's a cryo character but a physical damage dealer also. And yes, Shenhe's burst does give physical reduction to Eula. However, Eula's cryo damage output isn't something you're focusing on, which makes Shenhe's loses most of her potential. The main and best potential from Shenhe's kit is going to be be her Quills, in which I have to say that she does give an insane amount of attack boost, but it's only for cryo damage. Therefore, Eula's not going to be benefiting too much from this. That being said, if your anemo characters is swirling cryo, then that still has Shenhe's effect applied, which is quite a plus for characters like Venti and Kazuha to enhance their burst damage even further. But other than that, the number of characters that she can fully benefit at this point is not a lot. Hence, I said she's a character that is really niche and limited at this point. Number 2 is Ice Quill triggered number. So we know that Ganyu and Ayaka are the main cryo unit to be benefit off of Shenhe's Quill. That's amazing. Now Ganyu is going to be even more a monster. Yes, well, that's still questionable because Shenhe's Quill can only trigger 5 to 7 times depending on how you use her E, and each time your attack deals cryo, it is counted regardless of how many mobs it hit. That's where the biggest hindrance in Shenhe's kit we're having till now. So in Ganyu's case, she can practically use up her Quill with only one shot depending on how many mobs that there are at the current point. Or Ayaka charge attack does 4 instances of damage, in which it is also counted. Not to mention Ayaka's burst has 20 tick over its period, therefore it's impossible for Shenhe's Quill to boost Ayaka's burst for its whole duration. This is a very weird case on MiHoYo's side. I don't know why they are limiting the numbers of triggering time like this, but they could have either, shortened the duration of the Quill activation or something else. As of now, we don't know exactly how good Shenhe's attack boost is going to be toward the team because she's not out yet, but I'm guessing that there has to be a reason. Who knows, after Shenhe's E skills, Ganyu's damage goes so high that she can easily one-shot many larger mobs. That would make a limited number of Quills more worthwhile, right? Either way, it's something that I just want to put it out there for you guys to consider as well. Number 3 is passive talent. Shenhe's passive talent for her E skills is that if you press, she gives 15% E skills and burst damage increase to your team, and if you hold, it's a 15% increase in normal charge and plunging damage. So it's only either or, not at the same time, which is really weird to me also. I don't know why MiHoYo just, don't give her the ability to boost all damage at the same time, considering the fact that 15% increase in damage isn't too significant. Comparing to other units like Kazuha, who can easily give you 30% elemental damage increase with 40% resistant reduction from 4-piece Viridescent. This is a bit underwhelming for a character like Shenhe, especially when she's mainly focused as a pure support that only focus on giving you attack boost, no healing or shield whatsoever. Plus she's a 5-star character who I would feel that on her off-field damage side, she won't be able to deal as much damage either. And then when I look at her constellation, again, disclaimer, Shenhe's passive and cons isn't official at this point in time and can still be changed, but I saw that her C1 is whenever you cast her E skills, it resets the duration, allowing you to cast it again. In other words, if you want Shenhe to boost all of your damage from her second passive, you will need to get her C1, otherwise you will be waiting for like 15-second cooldown for her skills to reset. So yeah, not sure what MiHoYo is really up to here. Fourth is that will she be worth a slot on your team? Now to be honest, with Shenhe's current kit, she's in for a lot of competition, like not just with other support characters but can also with other DPS units. Since she's a niche cryo support, usually we'll be thinking of our Morgana team comp, in which place she's in direct competition with Diona, who is an amazing cryo battery, healer and a shielder for Ganyu. For Shenhe, she's going to be in only for the attack boost, so realistically speaking, if you're going into the abyss without a healer, especially at this time when there are corrosion status, how likely are you going to be surviving without a healer? Quite impossible unless Shenhe boosts Ganyu's damage so high that she one-shot or few-shot kill larger mob. Either that or you use Kokomi to replace Mona, then you have a healer, but now here's the question of how good a cryo battery for Ganyu will Shenhe be. From what we know is that she recharged 2 to 3 particles from press and 3 to 4 particles from hold, with a duration of 15-second cooldown. That's not a lot unless you're going to be going with Favonius Lance on Shenhe, in which case you will need some more crits for her to proc the weapon's passive while also lowering her her attack percentage to give your team. Now I may sound a bit negative about Shenhe's situation, but what I just want to say is that she's having a lot of direct competition for a spot on the team just because there are so many good support characters out there at this point in time. But again, we'll need to wait until she officially arrives to see her true potential. And then number 5 is that, is she free to play friendly? Good question, right? Is Shenhe free to play friendly? It's going to be largely depends on where you are at in the game and what character you have on your account. First of all, Shenhe is going to require the new material from the newest region, Ankonomia, and at this point we really don't know at what AR would you need to be in order to enter. But what we do know is that you won't get access to it unless you're in Inazuma. So if you're not at the point where you're in Inazuma, you won't be able to level her up. Plus, we can basically see that she's most useful when you're using Ganyu and Ayaka. I'd say mostly Ganyu at this point, but either way, if you're not having either Ganyu or Ayaka at this point, then it's most likely you won't be having Shenhe benefiting your team anytime soon. Plus, she's a 5-star unit that you'll be spending your hard-earned Primo Gems on, while there are so many other amazing support units, especially like Bennett, for example, who's a 4-star character, which is so much easier to get. And so Shenhe is in a quite tricky situation at this point in time. Unless you're someone who absolutely love her as a character like I do, I definitely wait for more reviews on her once she arrives. And so guys, I hope the video have been of helpful to you in terms of making a better decision for Shenhe. Now, if you're not going for Shenhe and is confused about what other character you should go for in patch 2.4, I got a video that deep dive into that to help you make a better choice, and I'm sure that you will find it very helpful. The video should appear on your right corner. If you enjoyed the video guys, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more of my Supera Genshin guide builds and tips and tricks. And with that, I wish you a super day and I will catch you on the next video.